Hey, good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on what we're seeing across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. We're going to start with current temperatures. These only take just a couple of seconds to talk about. Right now, current temperatures over in northwest Alabama, bitterly cold. Lauderdale, Colbert, down into Franklin County, 20 degrees right now in Florence. We're sitting at 23 in Russellville, 22 both Athens and Decatur. A little warmer across northeast Alabama. That's why they haven't seen as much activity through the course of the afternoon, because their temperatures have been just a little bit higher. 34 right now in Scottsboro, 34 Arab in Albertville. It says Fort Payne is sitting at 39 degrees. I have kind of a hard time believing that. I think they're probably a couple of degrees cooler. Here's radar. Kind of a mess across the Tennessee Valley. Simply put, it is just a plain mess. We're talking about a mix of sleet and snow across all of North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. At times, it's going to be hard to tell which ratio is winning out in any given location. Just note, we're talking about a solid combination of sleet and snow across all of North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, likely more snow up across southern Middle Tennessee. I did get one report that it was near whiteout conditions in Fayetteville there up in southern Middle Tennessee. And then the locations on radar where it's pink, that's where you're just talking about straight sleet. Let's talk about current road conditions across the Tennessee Valley. We've been utilizing this product a lot, and it is a fantastic product. We are talking about icy conditions across portions of Lawrence County, Morgan County, getting down into Coleman County, southern Madison County. Icy road conditions. You really do not need to be out in this mess, especially if you're in a location that has seen nothing but ice. Trying to drive on ice is it's almost impossible, to be quite honest, because you really have no control when it comes to driving on a sheet of ice. Then you get to Lauderdale, Colbert, and Franklin counties over in northwest Alabama. That's where you're talking about snow-covered roadways, but at the same time, there has been a little bit of ice mixing in with the snow, and that's where we once again find my friends Simon and Nick. They are hanging out continually over in northwest Alabama, and I just kind of want to get a word from them this afternoon. I don't want to keep them too long, so guys, just simply put, tell me everything that's going on. What is going on, and then how is it impacting? Have you seen a lot of people out, or are people kind of taking the message seriously and staying in? I don't want to keep you too long because I know it's miserably cold and wet out there.
Well, here on the campus of North Alabama, here in Florence, it's turned into a bit of a snow day. You've actually seen some people bring out some snowboards or some sleds, and they're sledding down the hill. We're situated here. Behind us is Flowers Hall, the basketball gym, and behind the camera, in front of us is Rivers Hall, one of the dormitories here on campus. And we've seen some kids come down the hill and get a snowboard and have a little bit of fun. Because, Nick, it's perfect snow day, kind of snow on the ground here to make snowmen and slide around.
It is. Actually, here in Florence, we were in Muscle Shoals, of course, earlier. A lot more ice. I'd say we crossed over into Florence, and magically the powder was more prevalent everywhere. It's actually pretty good at sledding weather. I don't actually see anyone. There was a bunch of kids that walked, of course, perfect timing on live television, right? There were a bunch of kids that were walking right behind us with sleds earlier. Also, over on our left right now is the soccer field here on the campus of UNA. There is somebody, we don't know exactly who it is, but there's somebody clearly on the football team getting some work in and kicking right now, Simon.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those days where if you don't have anywhere to be, you maybe have a little bit of fun outside in your yard. In this case, here on campus. Obviously, you want to stay off the roads because the snow. Although it's just primarily snow right now, it's on the roads. It's going to turn into ice as the night continues on, and then it gets really dangerous, Jordan, as you were saying. But it's drivable, not ideal, but drivable. Like in our case, we have been moving around a little bit from town to town, so we haven't had any catastrophes, of course. But it's not something we necessarily recommend. In fact, we recommend the absolute opposite.
Exact opposite. And I would say it's drivable with certain vehicles. After we crossed over from Muscle Shoals into Florence over the O'Neill Bridge, where, by the way, visibility was horrible, and there was snow covering the bridge almost completely. If you're in Florence, if you're in Muscle Shoals, anywhere in the Quad Cities, don't do it. Don't go over top any of the bridges right now. It's super dangerous. And then when we got more into town, into Florence, we saw a little sedan that just was trying its best but could not get up the hill. We don't know exactly what happened. I know he was trying to go in and out of the car and trying to get it up that hill. But especially, don't go out at all if you're anybody. But if you have a little sedan, I would especially say, please, just enjoy the college basketball on Fox 54, enjoy the PBA championship coming up, and then enjoy the Emmys. And you can just keep watching us here on Fox 54.
So, guys, you were in Muscle Shoals earlier. Now you're in Florence. That's normally not a far drive, but just to kind of reiterate how bad the roads are. How long did it take you to go from Muscle Shoals up to Florence, which again is normally a nice close drive?
Yeah, it was much closer to 20 minutes than would be a solid 10, with no traffic. I mean, there is no traffic on the road, obviously, today with very few people out and about because of the holiday and the weather conditions combined. But because we were taking it real slow and
we got stuck behind that car.
We did.
So we literally were stopped for a period of time and couldn't go anywhere.
Obviously, there's only now one really active lane on each side of a two-lane street each way just because the lanes have kind of converged into one. It did take us closer to 20 minutes, yeah.
And then I know what I see on radar, but I want to know what is currently falling on your head? Is it more of an ice? Is it more of a snow? I know you mentioned it was more powdery when you guys got up to Florence. Is it still straight snow, or has a little bit of ice been mixing in?
Yeah, I can show you here.
This is the type of snow we're dealing with, up in the air, powdery stuff. Yeah, come on, Jordan, we got everything. I'll actually step behind the camera, Simon, you can take it away, and I'll move the camera a little bit so you can see.
Yeah, so what you can see here is it's still powdery in look, but it's granular when it's on the ground, as Nick showed you when he threw it up there. You feel it crunch as we're hearing it. Maybe you might hear it on the camera or hitting our rain jackets here as Nick's going to pan the camera a little bit, get a look at the Mike D. Lane practice facility here on the campus of North Alabama. Like we were saying, it's perfect snow day weather, sledding weather, maybe snowball fight weather too, because you can ball it up and condense it into a ball real quick, but it's still obviously freezing cold, so that's the not fun part of this type of weather right now, Jordan. You're seeing it bounce off. It's a little tiny pellets of sleet. It's not as maybe vicious as it was much earlier when we were in Muscle Shoals and we were feeling it. Kind of hit us really hard, but it's still noticeable, and it definitely is a harder, icier precipitation than a softer, fluffier snow.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for that information. I want to let you get in the car, get somewhere where it's even a little bit warm. So, hey, thank you so much, and make sure you stay safe over there in Northwest Alabama. Give you one last look at the radar, just a couple of seconds here to look at the radar. Again, we are talking about a solid combination of sleet and snow across the Tennessee Valley. That's going to continue through the duration of the afternoon. If you find yourselves getting more snow, that could begin to pile up quite quickly. But if you find yourselves getting a little more sleet, well, then your snow accumulations are obviously going to be much lower. Either way, it's going to be dangerous. And like Nick and Simon said, if you don't have to be outside, just simply stay off the roads. Hey, that's going to do it for me for the time being, but we're going to continue to have more updates on air and online through the course of the afternoon. Like the sports guys, of course, said, just enjoy the day inside. There's quality basketball on Fox 54, so just stay inside, enjoy that, and keep it with Fox 54, though. We'll provide updates through the rest of the afternoon and the evening. I'll see you guys later.